dead. But Viper coming in from Live to Win, a scary pick in a sense. You've got Io and Slardar with already a lot of presence, a lot of mobility, high amounts of physical damage output too, which Viper doesn't directly synergize with, except for the slows maybe, allowing Slardar to get some extra hits in. I would like to see a physical damage dealer come from Live to Win to synchronize with the Slardar. But when you look at Brame's lineup, difficulties for carry heroes or traditional melee carries to kind of approach fights with Wind Ranger, with Shackle Shot. Constantly you see your opponent, you're like, alright, all you need to do is line up. You've got Oracle with the roots, you have a Disarm on Oracle, Troll gives you mischance, and then there's ET, who's just, you know, a big bully in the butts of all those melee cores. So difficult choices here for Live to Win as their fourth pick.
I think for me right now, the big thing is the fact they picked this Viper after having Io Slardar. So is the Viper some, 5 position that we've seen? I've been feeling it in the pubs. Ain't a fan, but it's been there. But also maybe in that core role, like it's not going to be the offlaner because of the Slardar pick. So it'll be very interesting to see what type of game plan they have for this Viper. Is it mid? Is it some, unconventional 5 that we've seen in the past? And this next pick should at least maybe give some indication, unless they pick up a carry. There we go.
Yeah.
But again, Live to Win, they don't have last pick in the draft, right? So we will see exactly what their plan is. Right now, though, I'm seeing Live to Win, they got lane winners. Io Slardar, Viper, wherever he goes, should be a lane winner. The issue here is Brame, they kind of have soft cover to it with one lane. That Troll Wall against that Slardar, he can do pretty well. I think it'd be interesting if Live to Win identify that and actually have a bit of flexibility with where they lane. Maybe some aggro dual lane of like the Viper Drow, for example, against that Troll Oracle, and then suddenly put Slardar into that ET lane in the off lane. You might be starting to win all your lanes rather than going even. So yeah, it's a laning setup will be really interesting for this game for sure.
That's a very spicy idea, seeing Viper and Drow both in the same lane. That would be quite the something. We did see the was it Cascade who played Viper 5 yesterday? I think it was.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. So that was Viper Sven. So a physical damage dealer with a slow. You've got Drow Viper double slow. Yep. So that technically you could call that a pretty toxic combo in a sense.
It is
but
very.
That's what people really get annoyed about, is like slow, agonizing deaths of just trying to run away with 100 movement speed and just taking hits and eventually dying.
The poison attack is very annoying.
Yeah, downside, no stuns, easy TP out.
Who needs stuns though, right? Just buy an Atos.
Yeah, 1 minute Atos. I mean, you
Dude,
can.
they're TPing out in 1 minute, mate. I'm hearing some lanes being won, like.
Yeah, actually, wait. I'm actually looking at Cascade. So, Rod of Atos first item was on Viper. 15 minutes. Okay, so 15 minutes without a TP cancel on your support.
It's not good for sure. Don't worry.
Yeah, but once you do hit it, it's just still a very handy tool to have. And now more bulky heroes. Let's go DK. So no traditional Infest Bomber.
It's the Viper 5. Oh no.
Seneko,
what have you done? And the Eek. The layered Eek. Who did it? It was Seneko with the Eek too.
It was Seneko. Alright, yeah. So he knows. He knows what's up.
My man.
What to expect.
So for Brame, it's most likely going to be, ET offlane winner on a 4. They're picking up their mid here. They need a mid that can play into the DK. The question is, what is your hero? Is like Timbersault's banned out? That'd be pretty okay this game. Death Prophet as well is pretty good. Unless what, mate?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the Wind Ranger support and then the Elder Titan as a core.
Yes, that is.
Which is an option. Then there's also, do they put
That's
Wind
the current. That's the current expectation of the draft, is the ET3 win on a 4. Unless there's some flexibility where they want to put winner on a mid, but against a DK, it doesn't feel good. So that's why I feel like it is just ET3 win on a 4.
Is it just because of the lane? Or...
Oh, they are putting the win on a mid.
Oh, is that a Spartan? That's a Skylark Enigma. Oh my gosh. I should be way more excited seeing an Enigma pick come in, because when's the last time? When's the last time I got my hands on an Enigma? It's been a while for sure.
The viewers for sure have had their fair share of the Enigmas, but for you personally, no.
For me personally,
Brame though, Yeah, Brame, this flexibility where they've now put the winner into that mid lane against a DK, it's
Yeah.
going to be, in
Um,
theory, it's not going to be a lane dominator where DK will just farm. But
yeah.
in the concept of the entire game, we mentioned that lack of lockdown. There's currently 2 stuns. Crush from Slaughter, technically 2.5 from the Bash from Slaughter, and then the Dragon Tail from DK. That means that this Windrunner, if she gets her farm, MKP, Ags, BKB, etc., she's suddenly running around the fight with Windrun executing these backlines, even a blink to jump in the drought. Like, she can be really disruptive. And I think Brame, they have like a quirky lineup where they got the counter aggression with that ET. They have the eventual we will win any fight with Enigma because there's no BKB piercing stuns. There's no big team fight. You have that Oracle Troll combo. So I like the idea of Brame's draft. The issue is, can they get online quick enough when you have this Drow, this DK just moving around? And I'm wrong, actually. It isn't the Viper 5. It is a Slaughter 4. Seneco's playing that position 5 IO offlane Viper. So, okay.
All right. How does that translate into either the lane or itemization with IO going 5 instead of 4?
The question is simply what type of game plan they have. Like the IO will always still go mech. That will always just be a given.
Yeah.
It's not itemization that changes. It's the game plan that changes. So IO in the safe lane, you're a regen bot. You're basically enabling. You're playing off your pool. IO in the off lane is all about bullying up in the face of that carry, trying to pressure as much as you can, and just being a little bit more obnoxious. So it's simply a positional thing, and it'll be interesting to see if they can actually execute this lineup, because this is the type of lineup that needs to play strong and group up quickly before this Enigma comes online, before the ET has levels, before Windrunner and Troll both have 3 items each and just get to murder anyone they want.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see what happens and how this action unfolds between Live to Win and Brame. And as already mentioned, both teams are sitting with a victory each. Both went clean 2-0s in their first round in their opener matches. And now in this winner's match, the winner advances to the playoff round of seed number 1. Immersion runs into 4 enemies, and he will be instantly punished. It will go to Windranger. Does have power shot leveled up first, but that really doesn't matter. It's actually a smart choice to have in your mid lane against the DK. Wait, is it the DK? Is it the DK still mid? Yeah, it's the DK mid. What am I rambling about? So, getting confused here with all these shenanigans with the IOs, the Vipers. Still not too much special here, at least. Though, Wind with that early pickoff, that means more regen for the mid lane, an own set of tangos, 1 null talisman ready, going for the second one. What I would like to see is... Actually, I think it's more of like a question towards UT. How many null talismans are we going to see in Windranger? Are we going to see 3 or 4?
I think at most 2.
You don't
basically
believe?
The reason for the nulls is simply to be able to power shot and insta-kill the range creep, if I remember correctly. I can't remember the exact reason, but I think based on power shot damage being like 450 and range creeps being 300, you actually, it's the melee creeps, right? Yeah, you want to be able to actually kill them off instantly. So that's what the double nulls for. Again, I can't remember the exact specifics, but I have a Windrunner spammer on my friends list, and he always talks about how like double null is like the sweet spot, or 1 null. I can't remember. You know what? I'm just gonna message him now.
All right, you do
All
that.
right, I'm gonna message him right now.
I was also referencing to another... Wait, hang on. Oracle actually dying on top. Gets the salve off just in time before the Viper gets a right click in. Was my Finnish buddy, actually. He tends to build a lot of null talismans and wins games through that. I'm not sure if you've ran into him before. Goes by 3 letters.
MTD?
Yes, he's the
got it.
player. Yeah, he always goes for 3 or maybe 4. I don't remember exactly. Someone can fact check that for me, but I remember or recall him doing the 3 to 4 null talismans.
Yeah. It's 100% simply just to be able to maximize the wave clear potential that you have in power shot. And of course it helps with killing heroes, but yeah, it's about that wave clear. I really wish I just messaged him at the first. All right, he's typing.
All right, he's typing. We'll live in excitement. Meanwhile, while we wait for the response, look at the bot lane action here with Enigma. When you talk about a matchup against Drow, It's difficult for the Enigma to also kind of
You'll have to
keep
do
those
better than
Dolans
that.
alive, keep the distance away. They've been nerfing that HP on these Eidolons. They die super fast as well now without the level... Yeah, it's actually level 10 talent now to get more Eidolon HP. But once you hit level 3, you're going to have a good advantage on dealing damage onto the enemy support. And if you stay alone, if you can get that XP to flow in your favor, you can get that early black hole. You can rotate early just to use it, just to put it on cooldown and roll back if it's like a lineup that can potentially kill. If you're talking about the Troll and the Wind Ranger, looks like it might just be possible to do so. Did we get a response from our Wind Ranger?
Yeah. Okay, so I was right in the idea of the double null. It allows you to power shot the melee creeps, get 2 of them, but still secure the range creep as well, because obviously the damage gets reduced for every hero it hits. So double null offsets that a little bit and allows you to get 3 of the 4 creeps in the lane.
All right.
But he also said primarily it's just for the mana regen, because you keep wanting to spam your spells. So yeah.
Indeed.
Very nice.
Very, very nice. We always learn more about Wind Rangers.
Shout out to Gleek, by the way. I'll give him the shout out. There you go. Thanks, Gleek.
Do that. Immersion, bullying focus, 2 stacks of poison. Does he get the 3rd one? Does get the 3rd stack of poison, and focus 4 stacks now. 5 stacks. Oh, fairy fire used up. Wants to get the kill. Oracle doesn't get it. Focus. He lives. And Spartan gets the kill. He even gets the chance to turn around on this Viper. But Focus is really afraid to try and even get that one hit, that one punch in, as that Viper just might break the salve. So he is completely out of mana, but still well played. And
Are they trying to kill Seneko?
Looks like they are. Yeah,
Sorry, mate.
ET's
Oh, the
real. Okay. Yeah. That was.
I realized he was tethering into his
Creep wave.
enemy creeps. I thought it was his creep wave, and I was like, wait a second, they're dire. He's radiant. Oh no. But this top lane for me, it's a story of you have Oracle versus Viper, you have Troll against Slardar. Brame literally have like some of the best counters to both of these heroes in this top lane. And you saw that Troll go low, but then that Fortune's End just comes into play, just mitigates whatever Viper has been able to recruit. And they actually get Dream in the bot. No, Dream gets Skylark, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. That's very awkward for the Enigma to die this early, especially when it comes as a trade. Dream dies, yeah, there's still a kill in the Drow, but you never want to die before the enemy carry does if you're playing Enigma on the offlane. You're just going to fall so much behind because of that. Small pieces of XP start to line up. Wait, how did Soneko get this kill? Oh
because
wait, Tower
Seneca did
yeah,
damage. Yeah, Seneca did damage, and then within that window
Makes
of
sense.
damage, like 20 odd seconds, I think, 24.
Makes sense.
Then,
I'm so gassed about the patch coming through, and I'm just like, what is going on? But
Well,
yeah,
this is not the patch, mate. We
This
can't
is
use
not
it as
the patch.
excuses. This is just the same old game.
Same old game. Though, still some entertaining Dota, nevertheless.
Just
still
some
a good
aggression, focus, poking the Viper in the top lane, but only poking, nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah. 2 to 4, 5 minutes bounty runes spawning. Immersion already camping up in top. Soneko and Dream unable to contest bottom. We'll get to steal that one at least. So yeah, looks like it's going to be a casual 2 for 2. At the same time, Stomanen has got a spirit roaming around. Good attempt actually to get the sleep on Drow, and he gets the spirit for himself. Heavy hits onto this Drow. At least 2 big punches.
Yeah, the important thing here is the Drow in this lane is normally quite a potent safe lane, but with this IO, not really able to actually do any kind of aggressive plays that you like to see with the Drow normally. So now that's why you see this ET just really kind of pressuring and having a free game. And Enigma doesn't really get to do much pressure normally. He just steals the creeps and just farms up. But with this ET, it's a really hard Drow lane.
It is. Another Malefice comes through. Stomanen can't get under the tower. They just want to keep on pulling and stacking. Well, they can't really stack now that as they connect this pull. This helps Skylark, and they also realize that, well, they can't really punish this Drow too much because she's always under the tower somewhere nearby. So if they just keep on stacking and waiting, that means the Drow is still going to get big, especially in XP.
And that's the important thing as well. XP is so critical for the Drow to have to retreat to the jungle and play your game. Like in most safe lanes, like this is where safe lane nowadays, like the reason why these cores are so prominent is simply because They get to play out their lane, and if they're under pressure, they all have farming mechanisms for the jungle. The Lifestealer, the Sven, the Troll to some degree, even Spectre with Blade Mail, and then you have Drow with her level 6. Like, they're all cores that with levels, suddenly they unlock the entire jungle at minute 7 if needed.
We haven't really looked at mid. DK 47 and 8, Windranger 28, last 20 CS behind the DK. Decided to not go for the second Null Talisman and instantly rushed a Javelin. So that's the Javelin Focus Fire combo for the early damage output. Meanwhile, Immersion and Afterlife going on the Troll in top. No ultis available on either of these here. This level 3 Slardar keeps on going at the Troll. Here comes the Roots from Spartan to take some of the purges away. And Immersion is the one who dies actually first. And Afterlife, here comes the mischance from Focus. Beautiful turnaround. Absolutely beautiful. Brame just outplay Live to Win in this top lane completely. Focus. All you needed was a tower.
But that's what the thing is, right? The Troll, the Oracle, you have the Oracle taking away that Viper damage, then the Troll comes in with the Whirling Axes, suddenly Slardar doesn't get to play Dota, like, whew. And then they're getting...
Which one man? Just one man that. 1v1, Enigma dead.
Easy 1v1, mate.
Immersion also TP it in bottom, looking for an opening to get a stun out, but not needed.
We spoke up 1v1s, my mind went to Call of Duty, you know, Rust. And then I was like, wait a second, what if Dota had that? We had this meme idea of like, during the game, you have to just do like a 1v1 battle, like the 5 plays the 5 in an arena or something. FN though, in the mid lane, as I meme. He's a survivor, surely.
He's definitely not a meme here. He will tank everything. He survives. Soneko gets the overcharge out just in time. I think that reduces enough of the damage, or at least gives him some extra regen to survive that initial burst.
Yeah.
Very close call.
And that's where you see the Windrunner. She has that early Javelin. That extra little bit of magic damage does allow you to have some type of kill threat on the DK. But she needs at least like 10 to 12 seconds of constant right-click time going into play there. If you have any additional assistance, that's when Winner has to back off. And that's the early weakness of the hero. If the team rotates, she can't get the kill. But still, the flip side of that, you have to look at, okay, the positive side effects. You know, you bring in heroes to mid, Windrunner is suddenly now forcing supports away from side lanes. But the lanes were already pushed in to Live to Win's favor, so it wasn't really that much of a net gain for the side of Brame.
Stamana gets to deny the mid tower too. That does fall at the 9-minute mark. Like a very casual DK game in a sense that tower will be taken down early. If there's a hero, or if there wasn't a hero, it's still the same cause. Viper, however, bit of trouble in top. The root comes out from Spartan. This time the root's not available to purge Focus. I think what he was aiming for is get the root and have the troll and melee range to also purge the debuffs while he still gets rooted. Stomanen is also here. This is the stun. FN comes in with DK form. Finds Wish. Wish also being revealed here. So there's a lot of action in top. 10-minute bounty rune contest as there's 10 more seconds. They will all back away though. Skylark, he's able to secure the bottom runes for himself. So again, a 2 for 2. Very even in terms of bounties. I know I talk about bounties a bit too much sometimes, but it's not too one-sided.
No. It's a pretty even game. It's basically the idea of both teams is wait, get first item, and then apply that pressure. You know, Live to Win, they're going to be looking to pressure the Roshan potentially, these early tier 1s. They've already taken mid-tier 1, whilst Brame, they're locked into much heavier timings, much bigger items to be able to play Dota. So I think if Brame can keep defending these towers for another 8 or so minutes, they'll feel pretty happy in the game. But I think within the next minute or two, we do want to see this DK start moving into the side lanes, really applying that pressure. Yep. Most likely when he gets that blink dagger. Oh, there's a smoke.
Yeah, they're going to kill Afterlife. There's a dire scan to spot if anybody else is showing up, but this Viper is an easy kill. There's a TP coming in. There's a relocate coming in as well. They're a tiny bit too late for... Oh, look at that. The stomp actually connects onto Soneko, as he was thinking that maybe there is no trouble after all, but there actually is, and Spartan is being controlled. He's being ulted up as well. Can he keep himself alive? I don't think he will survive all that damage. Tells me actually will, and they will take down Immersion. And out of all things,
Soneko,
it's actually Spartan who even gets the kill.
Yeah, but look at... Did you see bottom? Skylark just solo black holed him. He slapped down a cheeky level 1 midnight pulse and a black hole, and guess what? See ya, Soneko. Yeah, it was.
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
Eek indeed.
Yes.
Brame, 9 kills up. Very active gameplay from them so far, but FN and Afterlife, they're approaching top. I want to take another tower for themselves. Wish has got nothing else to do here except just back away.
Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
Stacking towards mid. Spartan wards towards bottom, I guess. I guess they might just do a jungle warding run, or maybe deward their own jungle, since Skylark just took down the bottom tier 1 tower, opening up this entire bottom half for Brame.
Yeah, the only concerns that I have right now with Brame's vision is once this top tower falls, their jungle becomes very hard to play. And with this aggressive vision, it allows Enigma to play this bottom side of the map, but it doesn't really support Brame's desire to farm up defensively. They did now cover themselves with this own jungle ward. The question is, will Live to Win actually push in and maybe deward this? I don't know. Most likely not, though. It is a very defensive ward.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
As for now, meanwhile, Skylark in
bottom.
some big trouble.
Yeah.
Nowhere to TP to. Gets sneaked down. FN snatches that kill for himself. However, Brame can't make any plays happen in top either.
Yep.
But maybe. Soneko still being kept vision on. Wish is here. There's the
He's
stomp
dead,
lining
mate.
up for the
He-
shot.
oh.
Wait. Okay. Oh, it doesn't matter. That's a bit of a it's a moment of and realization. It doesn't matter.
It really doesn't. Unless he had some like god tier play where he could glimmer cape, then tether to a sprinted Slaughter who's somehow in the river when that's miles. I don't know.
The only godlike thing
dead.
I had in mind was maybe if he had a teleport scroll, since he didn't.
No. He's dead out of 10, mate. But for Live to Win, they are beautifully utilizing this eye just to punish the over-aggression that naturally comes into play. We see a lot of these offlaners now, Beastmaster, Enigma, Night Stalker. They take the safe lane tower and they try and occupy this jungle with that dire ward. They have that in play right now. The issue is, if they ever show in the lane, you suddenly have one hero in the lane, plus I relocate with a stun. That hero is dead every time. And yeah, it's going to be difficult for Enigma to confidently want to play here.
Another smoke in top, this time Afterlife. It's the same spot. Wish just killed Io. There's Viper. Gets the Viper strike off, but the damage should be there. Should be enough. GG tree planted down. Still trying to kill this Viper. Mechanism, no mana. He finally got the mana for it. He just used everything to get it. Still doesn't matter. Afterlife is still dead, and Soneko. Is Wish gonna let him go? I feel like he is, but there's cavalry on the way. Immersion, FN, Dream, they're all coming. Wish has a TP available. There's the
He has the power shot to juke.
Nice block on the tree. Yep. He's just gonna roll through that. Although the shackle shot, the stun comes out at the same time. The stomp on 2, and Wish, he's got a tiny bit of an advantage here to escape, and it just might be enough. Another GG tree. He's out.
And this is kind of like foreshadowing what's going to be happening in about 15 minutes time when this Winona has MKB, AGS, BKB. It's like, we really just never stop her from running around killing anything.
Immersion instantly rooted up by Spartan.
Dire's top tower is under siege.
Just a chance to run away. FN sieging up a tier 2 tower. Wish has come back. Nice shackle shot. Focus fire, still 2-second cooldown.
Oh, then
TP
range.
cancel though. Oh, the root doesn't come out
It
in
was
time.
miles away. Just thought I'd give some energy to the cast for a second.
And FN is actually giving a tip. All right, so that's a confidence tip, I guess.
Did miss the shackle, right?
No, he did connect the shackle, but just.
Oh, no,
TP'd
sorry,
after.
his team wasn't. Yeah, sorry, his team wasn't there. Sorry, yeah. I meant reword. Redo. Give me a redo, guys. I'm sorry, I said the wrong thing. Forgive me, everyone watching.
You are forgiven.
you.
Armlet though for DK. Blink Armlet. What else are we gonna see on DK? What comes after Armlet? Do they go for more minus armor? Do they go for an AC? Do they buff up this Drow?
I think
somehow?
AC is good, or Halberd's good as well. Basically, just like Halberd's insane value. When you think of POS 1 and 2, both big physical damage. We saw it yesterday. The PA, the TA, double Halberds. They're very good. They just never got to that timing. And it could be the same thing here. You want a Halberd on maybe the Viper. You want a Halberd maybe on the DK. And suddenly you're going to get to play a game of Dota. The issue is simply you itemize defensively to deal with the physical damage. And then suddenly you don't have that really clutch Abyssal Blade that you might need to deal with the Enigma Black Hole that will rip Live to Win apart. Live to Win now is try and utilize their Slaughter to go to Roshan, minute 16. But Wish automatically power shots because they do have that high ground vision, and they get to see them enter the Roshan pit.
Yeah, they have to scan next to the Roche pit. It was inactive at the start, but just before expiring, it actually activated, so it gave them some kind of a signal. Live to Win might be moving around the Roche pit area, maybe just warding. Maybe they're actually doing Roche because it's still the Slardar threat. So you have to recognize that if they're there, they can definitely do it, even early on in the game. Setting up for top by the looks of it, Wish and Stomanen. If they see Dream show up, they can go for the Strow. There's an Io right behind them, though, so how does this go in the end? We'll have to see. Dream has been revealed. Here comes the Astral Spirit. Vision being provided. The Shackle Shot was not the best one, but the damage output is there. Soneko goes for the relocate, but it doesn't go off.
Cheeky, mate. Extra cheeky. This Windrunner is actually destroying the game. Not in terms of, like, sure, just got the Drow kill, but just the constant pressure that the hero is applying. Every ultimate he has is throwing onto a hero.
Skylark found at bottom. I'm gonna chase this Enigma into the trees. He's just used Black Hole. He tried to solo kill the DK, but Wish shows up for the backup. Power shot's available. Needs to get it off. The stun comes out, though, from the Dragon Tail. Another stun from Immersion, the Windrun. He's managing to dodge some of those hits from Slardar, though. The connection doesn't go through. Meanwhile, Spartan has killed off Afterlife somewhere. By the looks of it, with the help of the Troll. FN very low, so is Immersion.
Does Wish have the sniper skills? No,
wait, look at Spartan. Look at Spartan.
I'm looking at Spartan.
He's going for the snipe.
Are you looking at Spartan?
The armlet snipe. Oh, he's looking for it. Looking for it. Oh, so
Dude,
close.
Ace the effort, though. You know, you got to give it to him. Why not?
That was a beautiful attempt, because that's the moment where you're like, okay, he's sitting at 1 HP. He's taken his armlet off.
That's where you pray that he's shopping or looking around the map or telling his team about, like, why are we playing here? You know, you want him to be properly playing that macro game. But no, that DK, he was eyes peeled on the screen, armlet locked in. He was not dying today. But a 7k lead at 18 minutes. It is the concerns I had coming into the series that I mentioned during the draft. The inability for Live to Win to have strong presence in the early game that they showed yesterday. It is coming into effect. Brame have played very aggressive Dota, this mid-Windrunner. Even though she obviously didn't do too much in the lane, she got her items, and then that's when she turned up that kind of heat. She applied that pressure to the side lanes, allowed the Troll just to hit up the jungle, Enigma AFK farm bottom, and that's how they've accrued 6-7k. But Live to Win are smoked up right now in the hope to find a pick-off, ideally the Windrunner, and they are yet to find anyone.
Yep, Troll is the one they run into, though. DK's Dragon Tail comes through. Shackle Shot does connect on the DK, and he's going to get stunned up, and he's in big trouble. Here comes the Enigma as well. Focus does get the BKB off, and Viper's just going to get run down. Meanwhile, Immersion and Dream, they're escaping. They have lost 2 of their heroes. Wish is still not the chase for more, but that's a very fast fish you got to chase. I don't think Wish is going to find anyone here. Meanwhile, still in the backline is Soneko. Comes back with the relocate.
And now Brame instantly going to Roshan. They get those big kills, but for Live to Win, they were trying to find a big pickoff and instantly to unlock Roshan. But they're moving into an area they didn't have any vision themselves. They had no control of the area. They fail the initiation. They don't have that instant jump. And guess what? You jump the Troll. That's his BKB reveal. Surprise, he doesn't die. Oracle doesn't even need to use ultimate. This is looking scary for Live to Win. They are lacking the ability to truly connect in these fights. Brame is playing this really well. I've loved the way that this Windrunner has been showcasing what the hero can do. Just basically TLDR, the hero is a very annoying, pesky movement hero.
Pesky,
doesn't.
indeed.
It's like early on doesn't do much. Mid game does a little bit of something, and then suddenly you get to this beautiful timing of like 1 damage item plus BKB, and it's the most obnoxious hero on the map if your team doesn't have stuns.
Totally agree on that. I mean, this Wind game is looking beautiful. 7-0-1, and he's stalking. He's stalking, but there's a sentry ward, so
there is.
Good reaction there. Drow turns around and instantly felt like, okay, something's up. Most likely felt like he was spotted at that moment. However, Live to Win. Only 4 kills so far. What needs to happen? Like, what's their game plan right now is building this Drow, obviously, to a big damage dealer and synchronize it with the Slardar. But how do they pick off Brame's so-called, well, not their necessarily their heroes. I mean, that would be a great way to start things off. Like, just get pick-offs and look from there, but how do they take this strategy of Brames and, like, piece it together and kind of start crumbling from there?
So for Live to win, no, it's the idea that their high ground defense is very strong. They have this Drow who can just kind of right-click from quite a large distance. The issue is, at 20 minutes when you're 10k down, Brame have this overwhelming amount of confidence that they might even be diving past tier 3s with the Trollo, with that big black hole that you can't cancel. So you mentioned like maybe a miracle, but I think for Live to win, they have to also the other way as well. You can look to keep the map quite open. You see Salada pushing in bot lane. Suddenly someone TP's bottom, you relocate top. You might have numbers advantage. The issue is you are simply fighting into an Aegis, BKBs, when you're on a soon on Troll. Like, it's very difficult. Like, but that's the only play I can see Live to win making right now is somehow split the map, numbers advantage.
Another attempt onto the high ground, but only getting a bit of chip damage in, though they are baiting out Afterlife. Maybe a bit too early with the combo. The Earth Splitter does end up connecting, and no way to stun focus. He's got his BKB up. FN can't do much about it. Gonna have to let them walk out from the high ground. Relocate. Where does Soneko go, actually? Alright, so he was in the jungle. Focus is already pushing in the bot lane. Still 2 minutes on Aegis.
Yeah, and Live to win as well. They might be able to wait for the Aegis out and then make a play off of that. And it's just an uphill battle. I'm really clutching here. I'm trying to find, and FN, he tried to aggressively push out this wave, but instantly Skylark's on top of him, the Spirit's on top of him, Spartan's preparing that route.
All there, but he, at least since Focus
away.
wasn't there and Wish wasn't instantly on top of them, it's like, alright, we've only got the supports and an Enigma, so our damage is lacking a little bit. Allows FN to live. That's also an interesting call here for Live to win, is this DK shouldn't feel too afraid to kind of like just walk into a lane if he sees one or two of the cores show up somewhere else, like we just saw Focus TP bottom. I can totally utilize on just pushing out waves on the what's it said? The opposite side, the opposite lane.
But yeah, that's the thing, right? Like you just mentioned, that could be a small window when you have one big damage source leaving the side of Brame to go push out other lanes. You might actually have Live to win with a little bit of an advantage. And when I say that, it's such a minimal advantage. It's so like minute, but that's what Live to win need to play for. And I think there's also one more strategy that they might try and execute here, which is keep the map open, force Brame to waste this Aegis, and then on that next Roshan attempt when it comes up, if Brame are a little bit slow to move over towards it, and Live to win able to instantly get in and take away that Aegis, they give themselves another 5-minute window, being able to try and get this game back to even. And the issue is they can never take a fight outside of base now. They're so far behind, the mobility of the Windrunner, the Black Hole threat, the Troll, like there's not a lot of stuns on Live to win, so they have to prolong, maybe snipe that second Roshan, and hope that Brame don't just barrel through the towers.
Desperate for any types of farm. This is the relocate to the other lane to get some farm. Aegis expires, timing comes out, they hear the sound go off, and what a beautiful stomp from Stomanen.
Night.
They're also spreaded, but they're all caught by that same stun, allowing the escape from Brame. As they use that relocate, they don't really have any extra jump either with the Drow and the IO.
Dude, this Troll is so fat. Look at the net worth. All right, everyone play the game. Spot Live to wins off lane. All right, after 3, let's say who it is. 3, 2, 1. Vibe. Yeah, we don't have one. Rough game.
It's difficult to say. 0-6 Viper, 0-4 Slardar. The farm is like well, okay. There's not that much. Neither is not actually a great farmer. Viper might be, but
memes aside though, the way that Brame have played out their laning phase and keeps closing out the map, one hero on Live to win has to be relegated to the no farm role, because you need Drow to have farm, you need the DK to be able to initiate. So this is where, unfortunately for the Viper, he is now kind of in that position 3.5 role, eking out whatever he can on top of what the supports can get. So
exactly,
unfortunate for the Viper. It's just a product of how the game's going, and he's going to have to do it for his team.
Top tower is under siege.
But as he said earlier on about that high ground defense, it is working for now because Brame are super scared to go high ground. They have they've done 400 damage on the top tower. They've done less than 200 damage on the mid tower. They haven't even got to the bottom tower yet. They only took down the tier 2 in the bot lane with maybe 3 attempts onto the high ground now. No real big attempt. They've killed one hero on the high ground with BKBs, getting a few hits on the tower and running away when the BKB is still up. Another relocate to top with Dream and Soneko, trying to get any farm they possibly can. This is like
But they're setting themselves up for the play that I just mentioned. The idea
Yeah.
that Live to Win, you keep this top lane pushed out, you try and get bot going, and then suddenly, if you have a 15-second window, you might be able to instantly blow up Roshan. With the Slardar, the Drow, the DK, these 3 heroes can do it quite quickly. And that is Live to Win's pretty much the only play that they have right now. Because if Brame get this next Aegis, they walk up to high ground with confidence, they poke it, if Drow shows her head, suddenly the Blink BKB Enigma comes in, completely removes her from the game. Sure, buybacks might come in, but the whole idea of Live to Win's game is completely like destroyed at that point. So that is why we keep seeing Live to Win using this relocate to make the plays. But Brame, they're not giving them an inch of the map right now. As soon as one lane's pushed, they're back into it straight away, playing collectively. See how they're positioned in this top try camp? This is the best position in the map to fortify when you're dire and you're playing aggressive. You skip the mid, the top wave, you leave one hero in a defensive position bottom just to offset any pressure, and then suddenly you just can't let Live to Win to make any advances on the map. So yeah, Roshan spawning in 11 seconds, probably the worst timing for Live to Win. They needed at least a minute or 2.
This is going to be rough. They're going to find themselves a pick-off before anything goes off. They're going to get the save on the ET. The Earthsplitter connecting onto Wish, finding themselves the Shackle shot onto the Drow Ranger, and Drow is going to do absolutely no damage. So Soneko, that relocate finally takes him back home, back to safety.
Run it to Roshan, lads. Run it to Roshan. Go, Live to Win. Go. They use their TP's bottom. Go, 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 go. This is your time.
It's a 1-for-1 indeed. Skylark's already in mid, spotting the Slardar. He's not making any moves anywhere yet. Drow is heading towards top to farm. Okay, so
they can't go Roshan.
They can't go Rosh.
But like that was like maybe the start of the play. Like I feel like if Viper was bottom forcing out the TPs, and then Live to Win had the courier in the Roshan pit, they could have maybe made some like convoluted play. But again, it is really them clutching here because this game is Brame all the way.
Yeah, Brame is going to the Roche pit now as well, and we saw Drow Ranger have that E-Blade in that previous engagement, which was actually the reason why she survived that engagement.
Yeah, that's nice.
Wind Ranger did 0 damage onto the Drow once the Shackle shot connected because the E-Blade went off first. Or Ghost Scepter even. I don't think it was even the E-Blade yet at that point. Though, Aegis for Troll, Cheese for Wind Ranger. We had that fresh Axe on the Elder Titan. We have a BKB on Enigma still sitting at 10 seconds. Live to Win. This is the next team fight's a do or die.
It really is, and I think if we have to think about maybe the way in which Live to Win could construct a advantageous fight, it's going to be maybe blow up the Oracle at the start of the fight, take away that defensive capability. Poor old FN. He is dead, mate, isn't he? There we go. It's been a privilege to watch you, FN. It really has.
I take no pleasure in
Oracle tries to snipe the courier, but doesn't quite make that happen, though it's a kill. And 40 seconds without the DK. By the time they've pushed in this bottom lane, DK might just have respawned.
Okay, but we need to sit here and theory craft the fight win for Live to Win, because right now it's very easy for Brame. We've seen it 1,000 times with the Black Hole and the Windrunner. So for Live to Win, they need to blow up the Oracle. Windrunner needs to, at the same time, waste ultimate on the dead hero, and then maybe they can take the fight. And Troll needs to ultimate his way to tier 4. But the Black Hole.
Black Hole. Skylark hits the money. And that's 4 heroes gone. That's 3 dead with the DK dead before. A buyback from Slardar. And Skylark rightfully gets the tips from that. It really doesn't need to be more simple than that. Blinking, Black Hole, GG, well played. Brame, 30 minutes, game 1 taken.
A beautiful game. Just really good from Brame. Again, I said this yesterday,
Solid.
I said it again.
Solid.
Very solid. Their laning phase was very good. They had the setup to play pressure, and I think to simplify it, it is a product of the draft. You have Oracle Troll against Viper Slardar. it goes the way of Oracle Troll. You have Enigma ET against a Drow Io, it goes the way of the Enigma ET. You have a Windrunner in mid against a DK, it's a very 50-50, like both just push out the lane. But it's the movements that we see on the map. The Windrunner applying this pressure, forcing out the DK to react defensively, having to offset all of his tower damage just to be kind of just empty dragon forms. And then suddenly this Windrunner, she's forcing all these moves around the map. And then when Brame want to play as a team, they sweep the map together, they close it out, they control the high ground areas, they have the vision. And when Live to Win, they made that one big smoke gank to try and unlock Roshan for themselves. They ran into complete darkness, had no vision, and Brame was set up very much for it. It was the BKB reveal as well for Troll. And that at that point, the game was somewhat lost because Troll just revealed his BKB, got 3 kills, got Roshan, and then Brame just very disciplined, held the map the entire time, never really allowed Liv to win any pickoffs, secured the second Roshan, and then won the game. So yeah, big props to Brame. I am very happy to see this team performing well, especially just before DPC, when this is the type of team that we want to see in that Division 2, fighting to maybe one day get promotion to Division 1. So yeah, again, happy to see Brame 2 days in a row now having a good start. But can they do it again going into Game 2? Live to Win is the type of team to understand their mistakes and should be able to adapt quickly within the series.
Well, if Brame does end up taking Game 2 as well into their name, then we can all agree that their boot camp has really paid off, since they have been practicing hard, and you can see it right now. 3 heroes unkilled in game number 1 against a team called Live to Win, who have been playing really well so far. We talked about that early game prior at the draft. It wasn't quite what we were still looking for from Live to Win. If Brame keeps on going, well, we'll see the results right in front of our eyes. But we'll take a tiny break as we return with our second game of the series, and of course brought to you by Monster Energy, our main sponsor for the tournament. We'll be right back and return with game number 2.